Do you want to know what I would do if I was running AMC? Okay. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be very upset with what I'm about to say, but you know, the Apefather, I say it as it is. The first thing I would do is close every movie theater. They're like, what? First order of business, shut down every movie theater or sublease it, figure out a way out of, because I know that they probably have leases. Just figure out a way out of the leases. I'm sure, look, the good news is there is a way out because they have great locations. And I am sure they can find a way to get out of that lease in some way. That someone else will take it over 100%. It'll take some hard work, but you got to get out of the leases. You got to get every movie theater closed down. Now you might say, what are you talking about? But don't you believe in this? You know what I believe in? You know what I believe in? I'm going to tell you the truth. I believe in two things. I believe in the MOAS and I believe in the brand AMC, the power of the brand name AMC. See, look, when Adam Aaron went into the popcorn business, you have to understand something. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I had nothing against that. But the problem is that even if ultimately popcorn does well, the debt is too high. You have to understand, you know how much money AMC has to lay out? It's insanity. It's like hundreds of millions. It's like boom, monthly, boom, boom. They got movie theaters all around the country. They got overhead. They got employees. It's a lot of money. And it's just, they can never get back to profitability because it is what it is. You know what I mean? Look at what's happening to Cinemark now, with the potential bankruptcy. So it's just, listen, you got to all face the facts. The movies it's over. But not to say AMC can't use their brand name. See, do something that's competing with Netflix. You see what I'm saying? Do something that's competing with Disney Plus. That's what I would do. I would create something that would be more affordable and more just completely better. Everybody's going to love it more than Netflix and love it more than Disney Plus. But you're using the AMC brand name. Okay. Then you should probably send this message to Adam Aaron. He's going to listen to us. These are good ideas. This is what I should do. Then just every possible thing. Do strategic partnerships, but use AMC. Use the brand. AMC, don't you see? You know who understood this? You know who understood this the best? Guess who? Let's see if you get. Donald J. Trump. He understood this the best. He knew that the Trump brand name was so powerful because there was a time that he was almost in bankruptcy. I don't know if you know this. In the 90s, okay? He was so screwed that he was walking down the street with his daughter, Ivanka, and there was a guy, he was homeless. He was a homeless guy. And he points to the homeless guy and says, Ivanka, you see that guy? She goes, yeah. He's worth $9 billion more than me. And she didn't understand. She was just like, what? What are you talking about? You see a guy, he's like lying on the street because he was like, well, let's assume his net worth is zero, right? My net worth is negative 9 billion currently right now. So if his net worth is just zero, he's worth $9 billion more than me. That's the way he looked at it. Now, you might say, how did he get out of the mess he was in? Brand power. His brand was so powerful that ultimately, you know the real money Donald Trump makes, let me tell you. It's all in licensing. He licensed the Trump name. Now, this is the thing that people don't understand because a lot of people, I know everything about Donald J. Trump. I know everything. I know so much that when I went on a meeting, I was on a meeting at the Trump Organization, and I sat down with the vice president, Amanda Miller of the Trump Organization. She told me she could not believe how much I knew about the Trump family and Donald J. Trump. She says she never met anybody like me before. She goes, you literally, I think you know more than people who write books. Like there's a woman, Glennet Blair, she writes books. She goes, I think you know more than her. That's how much I know about the family, okay? And I stopped Donald Trump. When I was in the offices, I said, Mr. Trump, because I was working for a real estate marketing firm, and we were rebranding the Trump logo from gold to platinum, right? And I told him, I said, Mr. Trump, I think platinum is the way to go. What do you think? Look at your Trump name. And it was just the way I spoke. It was with such intensity and such power that he stopped. I stopped Donald J. Trump, and he looked at the design and he spoke to me. He shook my hand. And I remember the person I was with, but her name was Megan from the real estate company I worked for, the marketing company. She was just like this. She could not believe that I stopped Donald J. Trump. And guess who else couldn't believe it? Amanda Miller. Amanda Miller, can I just tell you something, Richie? She's never going to forget me, this woman, the rest of her life. She said to me, I've seen world leaders try to stop Donald, J. Trump, she said, and he walked right past him. She goes, I don't know what you just did or how you just did it, but she goes, you just did something I've never seen. He doesn't stop for nobody. She goes, he stopped. He don't even stop for me, she said. How did you just stop him? Because I have that way about myself. And I'm telling you, you don't realize how big AMC, the brand, is. You could negotiate. See, you know what you would want to do at AMC? You want to get it to a point where it was a company that ran with absolutely no expense, zero expense, meaning no overhead. And that's very possible, because once the movie theaters would be closed down, I know you're all going to be like, this is terrible. What do you say we love movies? What are you doing, movie experience? I mean, you got to face the facts. We're living in, listen, same thing. Do you know how heartbreaking it is for me being a musician to know that the music industry is dead? I have to accept it. It was, what was that guy, Sean Parker with Napster? Remember Napster? Once Sean Parker created Napster, he literally destroyed the record companies in the music industry forever, because people realized I could listen to my favorite songs for free. Why am I going to go out and buy a CD, right, or a record, whatever the case may be? He destroyed the industry. Okay, and I hate to say it, streaming is ultimately destroying the movie industry, because you have to understand something. You have three types of people in this world. You have senior citizens. It's very hard for them to go to the movies. They're old, they're shot. Like my mother. You know how hard it is? My mother loves Elvis Presley, I think, more than she loves me. Okay? And I could not get her to go to the movies. She's telling me, I don't feel well, I'm tired, my ass hurts, everything hurts. Okay? So literally, we bought it for her, streaming, okay, for her to watch it in the comfort of our own home. And she's so happy. She's smiling, eating a popcorn. And you see, that's the first class of people, right? Then the second class of people you have are the youngsters, okay, who meaning like you're under 18 and they go to the movies with their girlfriends. But the movie theaters are becoming so expensive, right, that they can't even afford. Like literally, you have to have, I think, $200 to go to movies. I mean, I know today's a different day because it's in celebration of Labor Day. You can watch any movie for $3, but still you have to consider concessions. Concessions are insane. Every time I go to a movie theater, I don't know why or how, but I spend like $100 to $150. And people who are the youngsters, I'll say like my cousin Vinny, the youths, they can't afford to spend $150. They don't have $150. So even if they did it one time, the question is, how many times can they do it, right? Can they do it every weekend? No. So it's going to become like a once in a blue moon thing that they go to the movies, right? And then the last type of people are just people in general who love movies. And they do go. Okay, they do go. But it's not a part of their daily life, meaning like it's not something they're going to do every day. It's not something they're going to do consistently, right? So they'll do it once in a blue moon. Top Gun, Maverick, you're a big Tom Cruise fan, you're a big Top Gun fan, you're going to go to the movies. You understand? Spider-Man, No Way Home, you're a big Spider-Man fan, you're going to go. But same thing with all the characters, Batman, Superman, Man of Steel, whatever it is. But the thing is, at some point, right? At some point, you're not going to keep going. You're going to go that one time. So there's been, and then you're battling the coronavirus. You're battling the Delta. You're battling the monkeypox. You're battling this crazy world that we're living in, right? The price of gas. I don't see, people misunderstand. I could afford gas no matter what price it is. But, you have to understand that Americans right now are hurting under the current economy. I mean, my wife was telling me she went to the supermarket to buy a box of cereals, $10. It's crazy. It's everything. Gas. I have a minivan. I spend sometimes close to $100 for a minivan just to fill up my tank. So And then you have the cost of living. And then you have the stock market crashing. Then you have a potential of the real estate market crashing. It's a nightmare what's going on right now in our country. So people do something that's called prioritize. You gabish. They prioritize. They say, is it more important for me to put food on my table and feed my family or to go to the movies? Which one's more important? Right? They're going to pick putting food on the table. So, but the thing is, none of this stops streaming, because streaming is something when you're home, you could enjoy and you could watch. And for some reason, people have a different mentality of spending money on a movie when they're home than spending money on a movie at a movie theater. Like, let me give you an example. When Elvis came out, right? I think we spent $20 or something. No, I think it was more. It was almost $30, right? Okay. We spent almost $30 to buy the movie. I think, right? Something like that. I don't know the exact price. My wife knows. But my mom had no problem with that. My mother was like, because normally my mother, she's one of those complainers. Even though I'm paying for it, she's not paying for it. But she's just that type of mother that if she feels I'm overspending on something, she'll be like, no, it's too much money. It's too much money. She didn't say that with the Elvis movie. She said, buy it. Buy it, baby. Now, if I was at the movie theaters, you understand, and I brought my mother with me and she's walking, she's all, she's tired and she's old, that girl. She wants to be at the comfort of her own home. If she would have knew that each ticket was $30, like it was $30 for me, $30 for her, $30 for my son Mike and Sophia, whatever the case may be, or let's say there was a kid discount that was $25, right? My mother would have flipped out. My mother would have took a cane and started hitting people, It's like, I'm not paying this money! So it's the truth. So do you see the difference of mentality on how people think with spending that money at a movie theater? And then another thing, you own the movie. It's another thing. So when you're spending that $30, not only do you get to watch it at the convenience of your home, you get to watch it in unlimited amount of times because you own it. So if I was a CEO, I would figure out a way out of all the leases of the movie theaters. I'm sorry. I love movie. Listen, I just want you to know I love movie theaters. I love the experience. But you know what? I would be so rich, I would just make my own movie theater. I'll build my own IMAX theater. You know what I mean? And I'll just invite all the apes and we could have our own private movie theater. You know what I mean? But maybe we'll just do that for the apes. Like we'll just have one in every state. Just for convenience, just for us. But I'm saying it's a dying business model. I hate to say it. It really is. And I would focus more on like the way Donald Trump did it. Focused on the AMC brand. Try to do strategic partnerships. You know what I mean? Rather than for you to be the one to lay out the money. See, what happens with Trump is people lay out the money for him. They license the Trump brand name. So Donald doesn't lay out nothing. You'll see a big building, right? That will be up, right? It'll say Trump on the top. You automatically assume that he's the one who paid for it, right? Wrong. A developer who went into a partnership with Donald Trump, who licensed the name Trump, he paid for it. So Donald spent no money, nothing, zero. Do you understand? Zero, okay? And he actually got millions of dollars in a licensing fee, and he gets a percentage of the equity, putting no money down because he's using the Trump brand. And that's what I think that Adam Aaron should do. That's what I would do. If I was the CEO of AMC, is I would use the AMC brand for licensing agreements and to do strategic partnerships with a multiple amount of products, not just popcorn, hot dogs, pizza, everything, all the hamburgers. Maybe people would open up the AMC. Think about this, kind of like a Sonic. You know what I mean? And you could even make it, how Sonic, they have the roller skates, they bring the food to you. So maybe while you're eating, right, and you're parked, you could do like an AMC, kind of like drive-in movie theater or something. But that would be different because someone else would be financing it. You see what I'm trying to say? Someone else would finance that idea. They're licensing AMC. You understand? And then they're paying you a licensing fee. And then they're giving you a percentage of the equity of that business. That's what I would do. If I was the boss, if I was in Adam Aaron's seat.